A video review on equations and inequalities test preview. So here's question one. Now what you wanted to do in question one is take a look at the picture and use the key. So according to the key, I have three x's. And since I have 3 standing next to the variable like this, I'm always going to add it to whatever the variable is. So this is plus positive 3. If it was negative 3, then I would add negative 3. Okay, and then I see the equal sign and it says equals 6 negative, so negative 6. And now this is simply just a two-step equation. So circle your variable, draw your t. The opposite of adding 3 is subtracting 3. The 3's cancel, so 3x equals negative 9. Opposite of multiplication is division, so divide by 3, and x equals negative 3. So it's choice D. Did you get this? Did you choose choice D? Okay, let's look at number 2. Okay, this is a special case. And remember when we have the special case here, we circle the top. And that means we want to get rid of the divided by 3. The opposite of division is multiplication, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3. The 3's cancel. X minus 5 equals 21. Draw your t. The opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5. 5's cancel, so x equals 26. And remember, when you're checking these, you type in the top first and hit equals. So you would type in 26 minus 5, hit equals. Your calculator would say 21, and then divide by 3, and it would, in fact, give you 7. So it does check. So did you choose choice B? Okay, let's move on to question 3. It says Mrs. Avery needs to find the solution to the equation 5x plus 7 equals negative 13. What will Mrs. Avery's first step be? So if I was solving this question, I would just solve it like I would and just see what the first step would be. So the opposite of adding 7 would be subtracting 7. And since I don't actually have to get an answer, I would stop there. So which choice should we have picked? Choice D. So did you choose choice D? Okay, let's move on to question number 4. We have 4 minus 1/3 x equals 8. So once again, we circle our variable and draw our t. So now that tells us we want to get rid of the 4. Now, because this minus sign is, you see this minus sign here, but we're not going to add 4 because 4 plus 4 is 8, but rather we have to subtract 4. So we're looking at what's in front of the 4. And it's positive 4, so I'm going to subtract 4. So the 4's cancel. Now, when I bring down the 1/3 x, since there's a minus sign in front of it, I see it as negative 1/3 x, and 8 minus 4 is 4. Now, the opposite of division is multiplication, so I'm going to divide by the bottom number there. But there's a negative in front, so I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3, not divide, because the opposite of division is multiplication. So these cancel. I'm left with x equals negative 12. Now, when you check this, okay, you would do 4 minus 1 divided by 3 times 12 negative. And you would hit equals, and of course, it would say 8. So did you pick negative 12? Great. Okay, number 5. Mr. Rennie has 24 spare pencils for students to borrow. That means equals 6 less than half as many as Mrs. Avery. How many pencils does Mrs. Avery have? So you should have wrote your equation something like this. 24 equals 6 less than half as many as Mrs. Avery. And it doesn't matter if you put the equal sign in the beginning or at the end. So we circle our variable and draw our t. The opposite of subtracting 6 would be adding 6. Okay, the 6's cancel. 24 plus 6 is 30. Equals 1/2 a. And the opposite of division is multiplication. So we multiply both sides by 2. Another way of looking at it is what's the reciprocal of 1/2? which is also 2. And A equals 2 times 30, which is 60. So 60 pencils. Choice A. Did you choose choice A? Okay. So moving on to number 6. Remember, okay, when we see a negative variable, we want to make it positive. So switch these up here. So the 6 would move over here, become -6, and the x would move over here and become x. Now remember, when we're shading, for shading purposes, we always read it from the letter, so x is less than -6. So it's open circle, which is what you probably picked, but you may not have shaded to the left if you didn't think about the negative variable. So remember, negative variable is going to reverse the sign here. Okay, so let's go on to first. Did you have that the circle is open, and did you have the graph shaded to the left? Both those choices. Okay, now let's move on to question 7. It says, which numbers are solutions to -4x is less than or equal to 16? So once again, we have a negative variable, so we want to make it positive by taking its opposite, and the opposite of 16 is -16. So we're going to switch the sides and make them opposites. And the opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by 4. 4's cancel. -16 divided by 4 is -4 is less than or equal to x. But we got to read it from the letter, so x is greater than or equal to -4. Now you want to choose all of the choices that are greater than or equal to -4. I'm actually going to choose -4 because that's equal to. I'm going to choose +4. I'm going to choose 3.5. And I'm also going to choose -3. So did you choose all 4 of those choices? Okay, and our last and final question is number 8. It says, which graph represents the solution to x divided by 3 is less than or equal to -2? So the opposite of division is multiplication. So we should, whoops, that was a mistake on my part. Whoops. We should do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So we should multiply by 3. The 3's cancel, and x is less than or equal to -6. That tells us we need a closed circle, so it's either B or C. And the one that's shading less than or equal to -6 is choice C. Did you choose choice C? Okay, that concludes our video review of equations and inequalities test preview. Good luck on the test tomorrow, or I should say good luck on the test on Monday, and have a great day.